It's May 14th, 2018. Greetings, Cyclopeans. This is Dan, and we are going to cover the latest sci-fi fantasy horror news now. Let's take a look right into the movies. Is going to be the big news that Milla Jovovich is going to be doing a Monster Hunter movie based on the video game. That should be a lot of fun. She does great shoot-'em-up movies and, the big special effects and big productions. And you can see if this one does pretty good, she'll probably wind up doing 4 or 5 more. And it will be really interesting to see what kind of monsters are brought into this movie. And whether they unleash a whole mess of them here or just a few, and then whether they decide to hold back and do some more in later movies, if they even get a later movie. But I think this will do pretty good. The game's doing well, and she always does pretty good with her movies. Lots of fun. Popcorn sci-fi. Moving over to superhero stuff, we've got Paul Bettany is talking about Vision returning for Avengers 4, but I don't think that's too much of a surprise because Vision is one of the biggest characters in Avengers, so I can't see why they wouldn't bring Vision back. But I think it's just a way to keep the interest going with the Avengers Infinity War doing so well as it is. In DC news, Wonder Woman 2 is to begin filming soon. A little surprised that didn't start filming earlier because that was such a big deal movie and it was so much hype on that movie, and I thought that they'd immediately rush out 2 right behind it. And I'm sure we're going to see Cheetah in this one, maybe another character or supervillain. It'll be really interesting to see how they do with this. I think it's possible they're a little delayed. Maybe they're sitting down and really taking their time after the fiasco that was the Justice League. I don't want to say, and I'm not picking on the Justice League, it didn't do well as it should have. So I could care less. I'm not a DC versus Marvel person. I want to put that up front immediately. I enjoy all the movies, and I want to see them all do well, because when one does well, we all do well. And when one of them bombs, we really all take the hit, all us fans. So it's too bad that I don't think the Justice League did as well as it did. And that may be what's holding this thing up a little bit. Heading over to Marvel quick, the new Dark Phoenix movie is got a ton of news. You're starting to see more and more on that. I don't like what I'm seeing in that poster. I'm not really sure. I'm just not getting a good feeling on the Dark Phoenix, but we'll see how they do with it. We'll just have to wait and see on that one. In a little bit of horror news, you Supernatural fans, the spin-off Wayward Sisters CW announced today they're not going to do it. So very interesting to see that it's not doing as well as they were hoping. I think Supernatural, of course, is chugging along. It'll probably be who knows how many more years that'll go on for. But the spin-offs don't seem to be doing so well. Quick jumping over to one more thing I forgot. Deadpool has added more reshoots, and the rumor is it's going to be more Cable. That's just the rumor right now. I'm guessing that this next Deadpool movie, which is going to be fantastic, so keep an eye out. We'll see if more Cable does appear in this thing. They'll tell us once this comes out. In video game news, we have the E3, of course, on the horizon, and we've got teaser trailers here for Rage 2. Kingdom Hearts 3 is getting a 2018 release. The Last of Us Part 2 Death Stranding has been confirmed for an E3 2018 appearance. Forbes has a whole bunch of news on the FIFA 18 World Cup 2018 DLC, if you're interested in sports games. There's a new trailer out for the Walking Dead video game. And let's see, NES Classic. If you like the classic NES, the little console there, that'll be available June 29th. And also, if you are looking for Nintendo Switch deals, there's bundle deals. We've got a little link here on the I'll have the link below. You can click on the main link, and then you'll have all these little news links within. The best Nintendo Switch bundle deals for May. That's been brought out, so you can get a whole bunch of goodies there. I wanted a couple more things. Overwatch, my favorite video game, which I just don't get enough time to play. It's a darn shame because I wind up playing all the way to dawn. It's a sleepless night when I get into Overwatch. So Overwatch has a new, the anniversary skins are coming out. They have been revealed already, and the free Overwatch weekend is coming. So that's going to be really cool. If you're not playing Overwatch, do take a look into this free weekend. It's worth your time. Overwatch is a great game, great graphics, lots of fun. Lots of shoot 'em up, lots of action. Really enjoy it. Can't recommend it enough. One or two more things. We got Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Tournament is going to be coming to America. It's select locations. You want to check on that link to see where it's going to be. And for those of you looking for more PC-related stuff, GOG, G-O-G if I'm saying that right, GOG Games and Steam Games both have big sales going on right now. They always do, but it's worth it to note it each time because sometimes, it depends on what they've got. They basically rotate through their entire stock of games, and they'll just, these are on sale this week, and this is on sale for the weekend, and that one's on sale for the midweek madness or whatever. And so they've always got a sale, but do check them out because there's tons of sales in there, and some of them are up to 70-80% off, you'll see at times, so you can really get a good deal there. The mobile games, Harry Potter Wizards Unite is going to be coming out for Android. A little bit of a buzz on that for Potter fans and of course game fans too. And that's going to be it for games at the moment. We're going to go over quick to the movie news, which is big news, is Milla Jovovich is going to be doing, well, actually back to games for a second. Milla Jovovich is doing a movie based on the Monster Hunters series. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with this because Milla Jovovich generally does pretty cool shoot 'em up, kind of like big production movies with tons of special effects. And she's fun to watch and blowing up everything and running around and doing crazy stunts. And it'll be cool to see what monsters they bring out for this movie, and if it does well, how they're going to do. Are they going to do a franchise of a whole bunch of different movies? In DC news, Wonder Woman 2 is going to shoot. I'm a little surprised that didn't shoot sooner, but I wonder if it's because the Justice League movie had some trouble, and maybe they're just kind of like honing that script and getting it as tight as possible to make sure they have a winner on their hands. Although I don't see why they wouldn't between Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot. And of course Cheetah will probably, I think it's guaranteed now, she's going to be making an appearance in this one. You might see another supervillain or two. A whole bunch of news has come out on the Dark Phoenix movie for those X-Men fans like myself. I am awaiting this with bated breath, but I'm cautiously watching. I'm kind of like, we'll see how this goes because I'm kind of seeing how are they going to do Dark Phoenix, because technically Dark Phoenix becomes Dark Phoenix and then dies or so, or I'm serious. I'm curious to see how they're going to do this, what direction they're going to go with this one. So very interesting. Deadpool reshoots are happening, and the rumor is that they're adding more cable to the reshoots. So I think that Deadpool movie is going to be a hit out of the park no matter what they do. Just based on I generally don't like to call a movie by the trailers, but the trailers I've seen on this one look fantastic, and so I'm really excited about this. I think the Deadpool movie is going to be excellent. Board game fans, there's a cool pirate game out over at Board Game Geek. I've got the link here. Again, we've got the main link to all the news right here, and you click on that, and then all the sublinks will be in here, so you can check all these little news items out. Board Game Geek, excellent site. They always go into really good detail on their board game and card game reviews, and they're covering a pirate board game called Skull Tales Full Sail. That looks pretty cool. Little figures and stuff. A really intricate little game. Looks really neat. Some other really quick back to the superhero news. Peter Jackson is said right now to be deciding between a superhero movie or Lord of the Rings, and it's interesting because what superhero movie would he do? And if not, he'll be doing Lord of the Rings for Amazon, which will be interesting to see if would he do another Lord of the Rings. Who would do two of the same movie? So I was like kind of scratching my head on that. He already did Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, and then Amazon's like, well, why don't you do it as a series for us? So I'm like, well, okay, what are you going to do different here? Maybe he'll add Tom Bombadil, or I don't know. I don't really how they're going to do this, but the way Amazon's talking, or the way the sources are talking about Amazon, is that this is like their big thing. They're going to try to take on Game of Thrones, or some of the big ones. They're really trying to muscle in on the fantasy territory. So Lord of the Rings series, I would be more interested to see a Silmarillion series with a mix of coming up to the Lord of the Rings, but we'll see what they do with this thing. So anyway, Peter Jackson's looking at possibly doing that, or a superhero movie. In sad superhero news, Superman star Margot Kidder has died at 69. Of course, she was Lois Lane, and many people grew up with Superman series over the late 70s and 80s. And, of course, they were fun to watch and got more and more silly as they went on. But there was Superman back in the day, and Margot Kidder has died. In a little bit more news here, I think I forgot to mention this. You video game fans who like the classic video game consoles, the NES Classic will be available on June 29th. So keep an eye out for that. Looks like it could be a lot of fun getting the games for that and playing kind of some old school games. Jumping back and forth here, and that's just the way we do things because the news is all over the place and it makes it more fun. Gotham has been renewed for a 5th and final season. Have not watched that. I don't really get too excited about some of these shows. I'm seeing Gotham. I've heard good things, but I don't know. It just seems like a big drama to me. Don't write me and yell at me. It's just me. I'm not into Gotham right now. I do want to say I did check out the Black Lightning series coming out on Netflix. Wasn't that excited about it. It's not a bad. Well, it was nothing that really went umph. It was. He came out and there was some stuff going on. It was heavily centered on life in the urban life and trying to get, I don't know, a superhero who doesn't want to be a superhero anymore, but he's slowly getting dragged back into being a superhero. And of course, everybody around him is making idiot decisions in his family. And because of that, he's going to be a super. And I think the thing for me, I just didn't have any sympathy for most of the characters, especially as kids, which take a large portion of the series, because they're the ones he's going to have to rescue all the time as they make more and more idiotic decisions between drugs, sex, and alcohol and gang life. Oh, Siri heard me talking and decided she wanted to call somebody. So sorry about that. Go away, Siri. I don't need to talk to anybody right now. That threw me off a little bit. Just got done watching The Expanse. I cannot recommend this series enough. This is fantastic. And it also comes with bad news because they've said they're not going to do season 4, or at least they're not going to do season 4 via Sci-Fi. So I'm getting it through the Amazon. Oh goodness, what's it called? Amazon. I can't think of what it's called. There's a special Amazon package we've got. One of you will put it in the comments, I'm sure. Right now, I'm just mind blanking on it. If you've got the Amazon Prime, and I'm able to watch all. And I've been up all night watching this thing. I just binge watched like season after season. There's only 3 seasons out right now. And the latest episode just came out this Wednesday, and I'm like just hanging on it, and it's just fantastic. It's really good special effects. If you're into sci-fi with special effects, and there's a great storyline, great special effects. There's a twist in almost every episode, and you're like, well, how are they going to get out of this one? And yet they keep doing it. I can't rave enough about it, and yet it's going to get pulled off Sci-Fi. So it looks like it's going to be hung after season 3 because they can't get enough viewers. If I read right, Sci-Fi couldn't get enough. The way the contract was, they couldn't get enough live viewers. So it looks like people were watching it, the reruns. Like if it was live on Wednesday night, they were watching it on Thursday and Friday, which is what I've been doing. If I'm out or whatever, I just don't sit waiting for a show to come on. And it's a darn shame that they've decided to not continue on Sci-Fi, because I'm worried it's going to get hung up for a year with people fighting over the contracts and everything, and then it'll just lose steam because it is really hot. I did a couple trailers for it on Sci-Clops, and it was really one of the most popular responses I've ever had to a post I've put up, which was The Expanse. So that should tell you just how big of an underground following. And also, when it was announced that it was being stopped, and I think the news was they're trying to shop it maybe to Netflix, or something's going on. Maybe Netflix might pick it up or somebody else. It went right up to the top 10 on Twitter with a lot of people talking about starting a movement to get it brought over to Twitter. Or I said Twitter, I apologize. Not Twitter. One of the big movie guys. Again, I'm having a mind blank. Netflix. Sorry about that. I meant to say Netflix. Getting shopped over to Netflix, and Twitter was just on fire over this thing for about a day. So I think there's a lot of movement behind it. I think the fans will push it over to Netflix, but I'm worried that it might get stuck in some kind of contract hell where we just can't see any more episodes for a while. Anyway, nothing we can do about it. In the meantime, go find this thing, watch them. I guarantee you'll like it. Guaranteed. Or nothing. If you don't like it, I'll be very surprised. One more thing just watched. Of course, for the 18 of you who haven't seen Avengers Infinity War, probably one of the best movies in a very long time. My favorite Marvel movie to this point was Logan, which I don't even consider a Marvel movie because it was so far out to left field for Marvel. It was just such a dramatic, violent, heavy bloodbath. It was an amazing movie. I just absolutely love that movie. Can't say enough about that one. Of course, it's months and months ago, but it should have gotten 1 million Academy Awards, and it didn't. I think it was nominated for 1 or 2. Can't remember. But since then, I've been kind of, I like Marvel. I love the movies, but I'm not like, going crazy over each one. This Avengers Infinity War is excellent, though. Definitely worth your time. Get over there and see it. Also hearing really, really, really good things about A Quiet Place, the horror film. It's almost like a sci-fi horror. Looks really, really good. Great idea. I heard a rumor that was going to be another chapter in the Cloverfield series, but they decided not to do that. So that should kind of give you an indication of what's coming. It almost sounds like a Lovecraftian creatures they're trying to escape from. So I'm really pumped. I've not seen that yet. Every time I'm about to go, I get tied up doing something or some appointment, and I can't get out to the darn theater. So as soon as I do see it, I'll give you a quick review, even though it's been out for a few weeks. Last but not least, I got a fun movie for you. Just watched this silly thing called, what is it here? It's a sci-fi thing. Cartel 2045 from director Chris Lee and starring Danny Trejo. If you remember Danny Trejo from Machete and The Devil's Rejects. Also Alexander P. Hartman, Power Rangers Samurai, he was in. Brad Schmidt from House of Lies and Blake Webb from Colony. Cartel 2045 is now on VOD since I think it's going to be for the whole month of May. It's fun. It's total popcorn sci-fi. It's this crazy thing where there's a drug cartel and the American Special Forces guys trying to stop this robotics company that went under. This robotics company collapsed, and they sold their robots to the drug cartel. And now the drug cartel in 2045 has become so powerful that they're using robots to attack people and blow things up. And Danny Trejo plays the cartel kingpin, and there's these Navy SEALs guys who can't shoot straight, and it's just hysterical. It's just a lot of fun. If you like popcorn sci-fi and got a little time, you're sitting around with the guys or the girls, it's a great college dorm room six-pack and pizza film. Or now that college is out, probably hang out in your living room with the guys and girls and just watch this crazy thing. I recommend it. It's not going to be great, but it's just a lot of fun. And check it out on VOD. And my only complaint with these things, which I would like to lodge, is whoever's doing these movies, will you turn the darn sound up? I can never hear this stuff. And no, it's not me. I know I have rock and roll hearing. I admit it. But I know it's not me because it's only on these movies, these little indie films. And the darn sound is way too low. Turn it up. If you guys, any of you guys in production are listening, please consider this complaint. Turn the sound up. Meanwhile, looks like it's going to be it. I think we've pretty much covered everything for today. I don't see anything else major going on other than a lot of E3 news is going to be coming for the next few days with the video games, with all the video game news. We'll be covering a lot of video games over the next few days. But that's going to be all for now, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.